Hey everybody, how you doing? It is late night. It is 3 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning in the East, which means that it is 11 o'clock. How you doing? It is late night. It is 3 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning in the East, which means that it is 11 o'clock in the night in the Pacific, okay? And yeah, so nice I had to say it twice. Who invented that term? So nice, I had to say it twice. I have to research that, but not right now, okay? First of all, thanks for coming in and joining me and on this program so we can talk NFL football late night and discuss who I think, okay, and you, are going to win on the games that are to be played later today. And we saw the Cleveland Browns host the visiting Joe Burrow-led Cincinnati Bengals, and they were almost embarrassed at home, okay? But I think I've said it before, I don't think that the Bengals with Joe Burrow are going to win as long as Zach Taylor is their coach. I've seen enough of what he's put together on the field. He's obviously a top-flight coordinator for what he's done, but it's not translating into head coach. He's making the game too complicated for his charges, and he's doing a lot that doesn't seem to have a rhyme or reason. It's kind of like watching Star Trek the Motion Picture without the music theme, okay? It just doesn't quite make sense what he's trying to do. So the turnout from that contest didn't surprise me. So having said that, let's take a look at what we're facing for Sunday. And we start with the New York Giants visiting the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. And remember that there's no fans in the stands. And this is a game that produces an atmosphere that New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick likened to what he called practice. That said, these games are real. These contests are real. And so the Giants go into the Chicago Bears game facing an offense that started out shaky in the way of the Bears, but got better as the game went along. And the defense held the contest close until the offense got its act together. I think that's going to happen again with the New York Giants because they haven't quite seemed to find their rhythm with their quarterback, who's also learning a new offense with a new offensive coordinator who is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys last year. So, and there's a lot of desire to, including from me, to throw the Chicago Bears under the bus because they invested a lot of draft picks and money on Mitchell Trubisky, and thus far, prior to this season, the returns haven't been great. But look, this time they won. And the Bears seem like they're getting act together, and they're rallying their offensive design around him, and they've produced a better game plan that and they've adjusted quickly. So I'm going to pick the Bears at home against the Giants to start that one. The Falcons at the Cowboys is a tough call. That's both of these games are 12 o'clock games from Central Standard Time perspective. But I'm just going to say this right here. This is a trap game for the Cowboys, and they could come out very hot, and if they decide to go no huddle, deep passing, which they can do with their personnel, and it's going to be a difficult day for the Falcons because the Atlanta Falcons' problem is that its defensive scheme is too loose. They have to decide, the Falcons do, whether they're going to stop the run and be good at it or the pass, whether they're going to force you to do one thing or make you one-dimensional. And the Falcons don't have a defense that seems to be asking the question of the offense, okay, how can we make the offense one-dimensional? And so they line up in a college defensive line approach with 3 down linemen, although you actually use 4, but 3 down linemen are actually between the tackles. That's an in vogue approach in college, when they should be using more of a classic 4-3 over-under scheme, which it better fits their personnel. So right there, because of the design of the front that they choose to use, they immediately give up the wide play, all right? Rather than saying, okay, we're going to make a decision based on a call. Like, for example, we're going to call flex strong. That means we're going to stop the run on the strong side. We call flex weak. They don't use the flex defense. Let me give you an example. Then they're going to stop the run on the weak side, all right? The Falcons don't do that. You can't stop everything. You have to pick one thing to stop, be good at that for that down, and live with it, okay? So the Falcons are suffering from a terribly designed defense, and because of that, unless they make fundamental changes in how they attack the Cowboys offense, this is going to be a win for the Cowboys. Well, let's see what happens. And the Falcons will go 0-2, and it will be an unfortunate situation once again for one of my favorite people, Atlanta Falcons head coach Dan Quinn. But that's my prediction. I could be wrong. We haven't had the game yet. Okay, so then we go to the Detroit Lions visiting the Green Bay Packers. I'm really impressed with the Packers. All right, the Packers basically picked up where they left off last time. My mother's in the background. She's Aaron Rodgers, and she's absolutely correct. So this is a no-brainer for me. The Packers at home will beat the Lions. Minnesota Vikings and Indianapolis Colts. I see the Colts bouncing back with Phil Rivers having a big day, over 300 yards passing. Buffalo Bills visiting the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins went against the New England Patriots thinking they were going to win. They still have a lot of problems to shore up. I'm not impressed with their offensive approach at all. At all. I'm going with the Bills, the visiting team. And then San Francisco 49ers at the New York Jets. This is a bounce-back game for the well-coached Niners against the poorly coached New York Jets. I think this is a no-brainer. Take the Niners. The LA Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams should have won against the Cowboys by a bigger score, but they didn't. They placed a little too much emphasis on trying to control the ball when they should have focused on providing the knockout deep passing punch at the appropriate time. They didn't do that. I say all that to say they can do it. They are a much better team than the Eagles. I expect to win. Denver Broncos at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers defense is too rough for the visiting Broncos. The Steelers are going to win this one. They could win it big, but they're definitely going to win. The Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everyone is focused only on Tom Brady. They're not focused on the real problem with the Buccaneers, which is their outdated system and the fact that, as Bruce Arians, the head coach himself, alluded to in the press conference when he said that one of the receivers, I think it was Emmanuel Sanders, went the wrong way went one way and Brady threw the wrong way. Bruce Arians was too quick to take down his new quarterback after praising him, and that affects the team. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are already in trouble because they did not bounce back from the loss against the Saints with poise. Immediately, they sent the message that this is a team where their communication is off. They're still trying to get to know each other, and the head coach is very quick to throw his people under the bus. Bad sign. So you've got a problem within a problem. Going against the Panthers team that you would think they should be because the Panthers team is new. But on the other hand, it's because the Panthers team is new that they will give the Buccaneers a problem. They gave the Raiders a problem in a way that a number of people didn't expect. I did. And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this is a trap game for the Buccaneers, and I'm going to pick the Panthers to walk in to Raymond James Stadium and walk out with a win. Jacksonville Jaguars against Tennessee Titans. I love, even though I'm not a Titans fan, I am a fan of Mike Vrabel and his fundamental approach of smart football with personnel. They went into a Broncos game, made the right decisions, and came out with a win. They're going to be 0-2 and could very well wind up once again being in the AFC Championship game. Titans. Take the Titans over the Jaguars. And now another proviso here. The Jaguars are playing excellent football with a new offense under their current quarterback, so they could make this an interesting game. This is a game I'm really going to pay attention to. The Washington Redskins, the Arizona Cardinals, I don't care what anyone says. Defense wins all the time. The Redskins have the best defensive line in football. They proved it. Take the Redskins. They're going to take the Arizona Cardinals air raid offense apart. Sorry, folks. I'm only just calling it like I see it. I don't have to see a lot, and I know that, look, Montez Sweat was one of my highest-rated defensive linemen last year coming out of the draft. Pairing him with Chase Young is one of the best combinations in professional football. Look out for the Washington Redskins, and do not be surprised if they come out of this contest with a win. Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans. The Ravens are the gold standard this year. They're better prepared, better personnel. They improved their defense. Their defensive personnel is going to give the Houston Texans the problem they didn't give them last year. They're going to come out with a win. Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. This could be a trap game for the Chiefs. Again, because the Chargers are one of those contest teams where you think, well, they should not win against anyone, but they're beating people. They're beating people with a strong running game and a powerful defense, and they are a much better organization in terms of what they put on the field in terms of coaching than Houston Texans. So this is a gimme. I'm not sure the Chiefs will win against the Chargers at their new digs. So I'm going to say toss-up. New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks. My mom says the Chiefs are going to win. There you go. Patriots against the Seahawks. Another exciting game on the books coming up. Take the Patriots against the Seahawks because they will not know or have the proper remedy quickly to deal with the plays we haven't seen ran by the Patriots with Cam Newton. Remember, we haven't seen the whole playbook. There are only so many plays you can run in a contest, right? And then remember something else. The Patriots change their offense every week, all right? They have a beautiful approach they've used for years now. People don't seem to get it. They treat football as if it's a math equation. And so it's for those reasons that I believe the Patriots are going to come out of Seattle with a win. The Saints at the Raiders. On the 50th anniversary of Monday Night Football opening in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, and I'm telling you, look, the Raiders are going to figure out a sneaky, underhanded way to win because Mark Davis does not want his team to be embarrassed in its new stadium on Monday Night Football in a new city, okay, on national television on the 50th anniversary of Monday Night Football. So you can bet that John Gruden's going to come out with plays you never saw before and use them. And they're going to have a problem because the Saints offense is going to score points against the Raiders defense. So it's going to be a trap meet that my prediction will Raiders will win. Barely. It's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait. Congratulations to the Raiders organization. So there we are. That's the slate of picks for me. I don't imagine you have anything to say differently. Otherwise, you had said something by now. I'm gone, folks. Subscribe to Zennie62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNow.com, and we'll recap all of these later today. All right, see you later.